What is the craziest case of rich people problems you've seen? My boss had me fired for insubordination because I refused to drive 3 hours to his weekend house just to turn on his air conditioning before he arrived, then tried to sue me when I posted the text messages showing what he actually wanted me to do. I worked as an executive assistant for Richard Blackwell, who owned a chain of luxury car dealerships. The job paid well, but Richard treated staff like personal servants rather than employees. Most requests I just handled, picking up his dry cleaning during lunch, calling restaurants to make sure they had his preferred brand of sparkling water, scheduling his personal trainer around his golf games. But last summer, things escalated to completely insane levels. Richard owned a beach house 3 hours away that he visited maybe 4 weekends a year. Every Friday, he'd have someone drive down to prepare the house for his arrival, turn on utilities, stock the fridge, make everything perfect. Usually his housekeeper handled it, but she was out sick that particular weekend. Friday afternoon, Richard called me into his office with his usual entitled expression. "Amanda, I need you to drive down to the beach house this afternoon. Turn on the air conditioning, check that the Wi-Fi is working, and make sure the pool temperature is exactly 78 degrees. I'm sorry, what? You want me to drive 3 hours just to turn on the AC? The house needs to be comfortable when I arrive tomorrow morning. I can't walk into a warm house." I stared at him in disbelief. "Richard, can't you just turn on the air conditioning when you get there?" His face darkened with annoyance. "Amanda, I'm not paying you to question my requests. I'm paying you to handle my needs efficiently. You're paying me to be an executive assistant, not a personal servant. There's no difference. Now, are you going to drive to the beach house, or do I need to find someone who understands their job responsibilities?" I took a deep breath. "I'm not driving 3 hours to turn on your air conditioning. That's not a reasonable work request." Richard's eyes went cold. "Clean out your desk. You're fired for insubordination." I was completely stunned. "You're firing me for refusing to be your personal AC repairman? I'm firing you for failing to meet the basic requirements of your position." That night, I was absolutely furious. I'd lost my job because a millionaire couldn't handle walking into a slightly warm beach house for 30 seconds. I posted about it on social media, including screenshots of Richard's text messages from earlier that day. "Make sure AC is set to 68 degrees before I arrive. Can't stand walking into warm house. Also check pool temp and adjust if needed." The post went viral within hours. People were sharing it with comments like, "Imagine being this entitled," and "peak rich people problems." Local news picked it up, then national news. Richard Blackwell became the poster child for ridiculous wealthy behavior. But Richard didn't take it well at all. His lawyer called me Tuesday morning. "Ms. Chen, my client is prepared to sue you for defamation and breach of confidentiality. You violated your employment agreement by sharing private communications. I shared text messages showing exactly why I was fired. How is that defamation? You've damaged Mr. Blackwell's reputation and business interests. He damaged his own reputation by firing someone for refusing to drive 3 hours to turn on his air conditioning." The story got bigger when Richard's other employees started coming forward. Apparently, I wasn't the first assistant fired for refusing ridiculous personal errands. Sarah had been fired for refusing to fly to Miami just to pick up his favorite cigars. Mike got fired for questioning why he needed to wash Richard's cars every single day. Richard's dealership started getting negative reviews. Customers were canceling orders. Business partners were distancing themselves from the AC guy. 3 weeks later, Richard's lawyer called again. "Mr. Blackwell would like to offer you a settlement. Full severance pay plus $50,000 in exchange for removing the social media posts." I almost laughed out loud. "He'll pay me 50 grand to pretend he didn't fire me for refusing to be his air conditioning technician?" I took the settlement. $50,000 for refusing to turn on a rich guy's air conditioning seemed like a pretty good deal.